I'm Thatbakerlady. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a kid's Frankenstein cake. So what I'm going to start off with is my 5-inch cake, and I have just a regular white. Oops, whole 5-inch stuff. Alright. I have my 7-inch cake board. So a piece of my cake just fell off, and that's fine. This isn't a cake for anybody special, so I'm just gonna put that to the side and I'll fill in that gap. Okay, so I have my chocolate filling, and I'm just gonna go ahead and put half of that on there. Put my other layer on. There's the rest. All right. So this is what I have so far. Now I have 2 piping bags filled with green frosting. I also have a piping bag with some black icing, and it has a 46 tip in here. I have a piping bag with nothing, and I'll show you what I'm going to use that for. I have some black and white fondant I'm going to be using, and I think that's it. Alright, so let's start frosting. So now I have my cake fully frosted, and I'm going to get my scraper and go ahead and start smoothing that out. Now I move my table towards me, so it's going to be going counterclockwise, and I'm going to move my hand towards me as well, so I'm kind of bringing them both in. Alright, so just smooth it out until you like it. Oh, I forgot my knife. You'll also have a plastic knife. Let me just grab one. Alright, so here's my plastic knife as well. I forgot to get that out before I started. And I'm going to start smoothing down the top. There's also some edges right here that need a little bit extra frosting. I didn't put enough right there, so we'll go ahead and get those. With that frosting I scraped off when I was smoothing it. And this is just a fun Halloween cake that you kiddos can make. I know there's no trick-or-treating, but maybe you can make a nice cake to take to your grandma's or something fun that you can say you did all on your own. Alright, so I think that looks good. I'm going to go ahead and smooth that again with my frosting scraper. And what I was doing is just kind of filling in those little gaps with the plastic knife. So let's go ahead and smooth it out again. And if yours doesn't come out as smooth, there's still some holes and stuff, that's totally fine. We're making Frankenstein, well, Frankenstein's creation, monster. So it doesn't have to be perfect. So now I'm bringing in the frosting towards me again, and I'm just smoothing out the top edges. And I've showed that in a couple of my videos too, so if I'm going a little too fast, you can look back or just go ahead and comment and ask me any questions you'd like. I'm trying to get better at answering all my YouTube questions because I'm just so used to thinking about my Instagram and making sure I'm up to date on that I kind of forget about my YouTube sometimes. But I will get to you guys, I promise. Okay, so here's my cake. And we're gonna be adding hair to the top. Oh, I made black dye earlier. Okay, so we're gonna be adding black frosting to the top, some hair. So if you have little imperfections, that's totally fine. Those are all gonna be covered up. You just grab a napkin. And that's where our bag of icing, the black icing, is gonna come in. I don't need that anymore. Okay, so I'm just gonna clean up this board really fast. The reason why I don't put foil on the boards that I give out for these cake kits is because if you're using the frosting scraper and you're not used to either using the frosting scraper or scraping the frosting with a foiled board, you will rip and tear that board, so it's just easier. Even though your board is kind of dyed afterwards, it is easier. Okay, so what we're gonna do next is we're gonna make our face. So we have our black and white fondant in here. There's a little bit of Crisco as well, you can see. So I'm gonna move this to the side really fast so you can see what I'm doing. Try not to cut off my head here. So I would say work with the white first so that your fingers are not completely black and dyed and your white's not gonna turn gray. So my hands are washed even though they're totally black. Just kind of, so we're gonna make our eyeballs. And what we wanna do is make 2 circles that are similar in shape if you want your eyes to be the same size. All right, so there we go. We have a little bit of Crisco in here, so I'm gonna go ahead and put some Crisco on my table. And we don't need any kind of utensils to make these at all. We're just gonna smash them down with our thumb, kind of make a circle until we're happy with it. So this is all I'm doing. Smashing down that circle that I already made. If you still don't like it, you can kind of work with your thumbs and your middle fingers and flatten that out a little bit more. Maybe make it more circular or oval if you want an oval. I'm doing mine circular. All right, so I'm gonna make my other eye until I feel like they're about the same shape and same size. One's a little bit smaller, so let's make this a little bigger. We don't want to make them too big because you are gonna also have a nose that we're gonna draw on, a mouth, some stitches. I think they're called bolts. Are they bolts that are in, like, coming out of his neck? I don't know, maybe you guys can tell me. Okay, so I have my 2 eyes. Here are my eyes. And now we're gonna make little white specks to put on the pupils that we're not doing just yet. But just make a tiny little white ball, 2 of them actually. Similar size. Oh, this one's a little bigger. And I'll show you right now too. So here are my little pupils, or the little white specks that are gonna be on my pupils. Okay, so I still have a lot of fondant left over. You guys do whatever you'd like with that. And now I'm gonna do my black. And we're also gonna make 2 medium-sized black balls out of these to finish our eyes. All right, so let's see. I'm gonna smash them both. So you're not gonna need any glue because you have been working with this, and I'm gonna show you exactly what I did. I just smashed it right on for both of them. And there we go, our little speck as well. Okay, just try to line those up as well as you can. Here are my two eyes. I'm gonna put those to the side, and I'm going to make my neck bolts. I really hope they're called bolts. I don't know, what else would they be? Screws, bolts, what else? I don't know, sorry guys. So for our bolts, I cut in half the rest of my fondant, but it actually looks like too much. I'm gonna take a little bit off. And I'm gonna try to make more of a cube, because I think it would be like a cube. So it looks like a little die, a little cube. And I think that's what I'm gonna try to add on. It might be too big, but we'll try. Okay. And just too big to have on without any kind of support. That's what I mean by too big. All right. And this is what I'm thinking he looks like. I did not even look at my picture before I started. So I have those to the side. I have a little bit of black extra, so I'm gonna put that to the side as well, because I might use it. All right, so next we want to start our hair. And again, I have a 46 pipe in here, piping tip. I have to cut this so that I'm able to use it. Black icing. And what we're gonna do is start from the middle. I'll try to show you this way first. So I'm gonna start from the middle and kind of do a small line going down. And we're gonna do this kind of shaggy hair. Maybe I'll start from this. Let me see how that looks. Okay, so I'm gonna do this all the way around, and it's shaggy hair. The 46 kind of has like little teeth on one side of it. I'm not sure you can see. Yeah, there it goes. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and finish that, and then all we have to do now is add our pieces on once that's done. All right guys, so here is my little guy so far. So you kind of want like that shaggy hair kind of look. And as you can tell, I made mine not all, we didn't want him to have like a bowl cut. So I made a little, some shorter, some longer, his little hair hanging down. So I think it looks really cute. And now we can add our eyes and our neck bolts. All right, so I think I like the messy hair better. So I'm going where it's messiest. Alright, so I just added my eyes on. I probably made him a little too big, but he's my little cartoon guy. So, very cute. Now we will attempt these giant cubes I made. Let's see, maybe, oh, I can put them just on the sides, because they're on his neck. So there we go. I just put them right onto the board because one, I was afraid they were gonna fall, and they're on his neck, so they shouldn't be too high, right? That's what I'm gonna tell myself. Okay, so with this extra bag, piping bag, it is cut just slightly. There's a very tiny hole in it. We're just gonna put our black icing bag with our pipe all together into this bag. And this is what we're gonna use to draw his nose and his mouth. I believe he has like some stitches, so we can do some of those. All with this. Let me just see if my hole is too small, and it is. Cut a little bit. But I think I'm gonna do my mouth with our fondant. If you don't have any fondant left, don't worry about it. You can always use the icing, and you will definitely have a lot of that left. So I'm talking to the people who ordered the kids cake kits for Halloween, and this is what they are recreating. I had kits available on my Instagram page at Thatbakerlady. So all of these things that you're seeing were included in that. But if you're just watching just on YouTube, then you didn't know what I was talking about when I kept saying you're gonna have this. Like, what? How am I gonna have that? So I just added a little mouth. He's not happy, he's not sad, he's just kind of like, what's going on, guys? So I'm gonna make a little string as well, a little rope for his stitches, and then I'll start using my icing. So here's one. So sticky, it's sticking to my fingers. And that's where the Crisco comes in. So if your fondant was too sticky, because the more you work with it, the warmer it gets, and it does get sticky from the marshmallows that I used to make it, you can just put a little bit of Crisco on your hands, on your fingertips. Okay, so that's gonna be one of his little stitches. And I don't know how many he has, but we'll just give him 2. So all my little Halloween critics, you could let me know what I did wrong with this guy, because I know everyone loves the Frankenstein's monster, which they call Frankenstein. I don't know why. How did that happen, guys? Okay, so for his nose, I'm just gonna do a little C shape. I'm not sure. Let's see. See how well it's gonna come out like this, sideways. Nope, it's already too runny. Alright, so there's my little nosy. So cute! Okay, and again, if you want to do a different nose, maybe more detailed, you kiddos, this is yours. Do with it what you like. Doesn't have to be perfect. Now I'm just gonna do the little stitching on his stitches. I don't know what you would call that. The little seams that you would see on like a baseball. Okay, so there's one. Let me do this other little thing. I add it to this side, and I think it's gonna be done now. There we go. So aside from these cake kits, I know it's nailed it, so you are trying to get as close as possible. But if you wanted to replicate this any other time, you can always add eyelashes or maybe like a cute bow on top if you wanted to make it a girl, or a different mouth, maybe a happy face, more stitches, less stitches. Make it your own, guys. And again, please share pictures. You can tag me on Instagram at Thatbakerlady and show me your recreation. So you kiddos have fun, and I'd love to see what you did. Thank you. Happy Halloween.